You're listening to Centre Stage on 103.2 Dublin City FM. A play called Dirty Money, written by Anto Nolan and directed by self-same person, is going to be on, or is on, in Lanigan's upstairs, and it's a lunchtime performance. Actually, it started yesterday, and I'm delighted to say I have Anto Nolan on the phone. Good night, Anto. How are you?
Hi, good evening. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you very much. So now tell us about all this dirty money. Where did the idea come from? I mean, I know, I suppose that was a stupid question in the sense that dirty money is a way we look at money, but what's your version of dirty money?
I don't look at money as dirty. I look at money as a commodity.
All right.
A currency.
Well, you use the phrase dirty money, so tell me what your take on it is.
Well, the play is like a part of a two-set.
Oh.
It's a one-man, and there's another part called Get a Room, which is a one-woman, which I have performed. Well, I actually wrote and directed, and they have been performed. I'm not actually in the plays. In New York recently, since March. And Dirty Money is the first installment. It's one man, as I say.
Yeah.
And Enda Williams is the actor in the show. And it's about a guy in his late 30s who's trying to get money to emigrate to New York. And he does get the money to emigrate, as I say. And he tells his story. He's standing in New York at a phone at a construction site. And he at a payphone, and he's waiting for his girlfriend to call him back to give the answer whether she will come to New York in the next couple of days. And while he's waiting for her to call back, he tells the audience how he escaped, in his words, Ireland.
And is that from your personal experience? Do you have a sense that you escaped Ireland?
Well, not really. I was very lucky because I arrived in New York in '88.
All right.
With the Gate Theatre. I did Juno and the Paycock.
Right.
And we played Broadway. But no, it's like everything else. It's like a bit of this person and a bit of that person, and you know.
Yeah.
There's no escape in Ireland. It doesn't matter where you go. I've been everywhere, and people have said, "Your name is Anto," and what's that? And I say, "It's Anthony." And you go like, you know, how did an Irish guy get an Italian name? And I go, well, I used to live next door to a chipper.
Oh, right. So, did you come home from New York to direct this, to put on this piece and direct this piece in Lanigan's?
Yes, at this moment we originally did it last March.
Yeah.
In Ryan's Daughter in New York, on the Upper East Side, and I got a good following. And then, as I say, there's a companion piece called Get a Room, which is a one woman show, and the both shows are connected. So we originally did it in New York in March, as I say, and we now.
And how do you find Dublin now? A sadder place than when you left it?
Well, I had nothing to do with whatever happened. I had nothing to do with the Celtic Tiger or the demise of the Celtic Tiger.
No, I didn't think. But do you think it's a sadder place, a more frantic place? Have you any sense of it since you came home? You're probably not home for long, but have you any sense of Dublin?
Yeah, well, I've only been home for 5 days. I'm going back tomorrow.
All right.
And I haven't moved past O'Connell Bridge because we've been, you know...
In rehearsal.
Yeah, in rehearsals and performance, and you know, making sure everything was okay. Right.
Okay. So, how did your first day go for you? You were on yesterday.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. That you know, a lot of familiar faces, people I haven't seen in years. You know, and a lot of family members. My brother Mick.
No.
It was great to see him. Which I don't know if you know, some of your audience might know. He's actually on Fair City.
All right. Oh, yeah. That was grand.
Yeah, don't ask me who he plays. We don't get Fair City in New York. You know,
okay.
Unfortunately, but you know, it was great to see. It was a great performance, great crowd. You know what I mean?
And what was the feedback like? I mean, in the sense of what people got from it, rather than the performance, we'll say.
Well, it was great because, like, you know, people got the sort of like juxtaposing is like we're in Dublin. It's a Dublin guy, but yet it's set in New York.
Yeah.
You know, and people were like, "Wow, it's a nice twist." You know.
Yeah.
Because you hear the Dublin accent, obviously, that Enda Williams has. You know, and you think to yourself, "Oh, it's a Dublin guy telling a Dublin story," but it is a Dublin guy telling a Dublin story, but the setting is in New York. Right. You know. So it sort of like it went with the piece when we did it in New York in March, because it was with Enda as well, playing the same part. Where, you know, a Dublin guy telling his New York story in New York, but he'd only arrived 3 days before that, and you have all these Irish, you know, like myself, veterans that have been there like 20 years or so, or 20 something years. So like, isn't he's in for a surprise?
All right.
You know?
Well, I'm going to give you what I think is a compliment, and you may not. But however, anyway, you don't have a New York accent.
That's okay. I don't have a Dublin accent either, right?
No. But
know what I mean?
I know what you're saying, but you don't have a New York accent. So from my perspective, good on you. Anyway, Anto, thank you very much for talking to us. And you're on until the play is on until the 29th in Lanigan's upstairs. And of course, there's a nice bit of lunch beforehand. I'm sure it's only €10 in, isn't that the story?
€10, light lunch, soup, and some nice Irish brown bread, which I miss. Believe me, I miss.
All right.
1 o'clock. You know, it starts 1 o'clock sharp.
Okay.
So, you know, theatre upstairs have been great to us, and you know, Lanigan's bar on Eden Quay. Come see it. Believe me, come see it. You will enjoy it. You will tell your friends. If you miss it, you're missing out.
Okay, Anto, thanks a million for that. Lovely to talk to you.
You too, Carmel. Thank you very much indeed.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.